Hi everyone! Today I'm gonna be setting up my bullet journal for May, and right here I am just cutting this image that I'm gonna be using for my cover page. But before anything else, I wanted to decorate the front of my journal with a few vinyl stickers that I got from my art friends, Hazel Tomatas and AJ Tuanya. I purposely left the center blank because I want to make my own vinyl sticker so that we could all be together, which is gonna be pretty interesting since our art styles are very different. I also wanted to do an April review. For this month, I was feeling a bit disappointed and overwhelmed, but looking back at my monthly overview, I realized that while I haven't made much progress with my goals, I have had an eventful month where we did some house parties with friends and some relatives came down to see us. So, as an introvert, I consider that a huge win. To the right, I have listed some weekly milestones for my intentions page, and as you can see, a lot of them were not crossed out. For a while, I was beating myself up over this, but as I reflected on that, I realized that perhaps I was expecting too much of myself, and maybe this can be taken as a sign that I should lighten my load a little for the next month. Flipping over, we have my goals tracker, which stayed pretty much the same. And on the right hand page, I have done an April mid-month check-in. For this page, I am using my Fudenosuke brush pen, my Muji gel pen, and my mild liner in light gray. There's been a lot of insights and realizations that I wanted to compile them in one place. I was trying to think of how I could structure this in a more concise manner. So probably what I would do is just read out every point and explain the backstory of why I came to those conclusions. This is mostly for my future me to refer back on, but I hope that you guys also get something out of it. The first point is to take an interest in your own life. It occurs to me that as I was watching YouTube, I was immersing myself in other people's lives and other people's problems while ignoring my own. And I kind of had to pause for a moment and wonder about that. The second point is results are not guaranteed. This thought occurred to me because I have been obsessed with the YouTube analytics recently. I started this channel because I had no one to talk to about bullet journaling, but as I produced more videos, I noticed that I was reaching a certain amount of views and a certain amount of subscribers every month. So when that didn't happen this April, I got a little disheartened. My next point is to act hoping for the best and giving my 100% without expecting anything in return. I was trying to organize a trip with some close friends, but because of schedule conflicts, it didn't push through. I had an upset moment, but quickly realized that, hey, I'm doing this for them. So if it's not gonna work out now, then perhaps we could reschedule and make it more convenient for everyone else. The next point is to focus on what I can do rather than things I can't control. As mentioned, I was starting to have this obsessive behavior towards YouTube wherein I would be refreshing the page every hour or so to see if I've gained any new subscribers. It was such a silly thing to do and such a waste of time and energy. rather than willing people to subscribe, I should probably just make better videos or even clean my workstation or maybe do some freelance work. You know what I mean? The fifth thing is to take your work seriously. I went to the dentist a few weeks back and we struck up a conversation. They're sort of a family friend. They're very sweet. Through the course of the conversation, they started sharing some of their convictions, and one of them was how they are first and foremost a healthcare provider, not business owners. I really found it admirable how they knew who they were and knew that what they did made a difference. It's a mindset that I would love to embody, especially since sometimes art can feel very frivolous. It's such a blessing to be surrounded with friends who support my work and tell me how it inspires them or it made them smile. It was a very impactful conversation that reminds me whatever you do, whatever you feel passionate about, it matters to someone out there. The next few pages will be of my weekly and daily spreads. I am in love with this layout and I think it is inspired by the Hobonichi planner. These egg and bacon washi stickers are just so yum. Not only does this vertical layout allow more room to write in, but it also allows me to add in this time audit panel at the leftmost of the spread, which gives me such a convenient visual on what I spend my time on every day and every week, and seeing how to adjust that to make it a more productive month for me. The following spreads are more of the original system, and as you can see, it's a bit of a mess, but I tried my best to stick in some stickers to fill in the empty spaces. Then for the third week, I reverted back to the vertical layout, and my gosh, I just love looking at this. These blessed stickers worked better than I thought it would. This is just a daily set that I've included in my April bundle. So if you're interested in that, I think it's available on my Etsy as well as my coffee shop. I also bought these cute coffee stickers from Bling Bling Planner. It kind of inspired me to make my own set, so probably keep an eye out for that. Because I have been binging Netflix, I decided to print out films that I've watched along with some books that I'm planning to read. I impulsively picked up this Muji notebook in a beautiful dark gray cover, so I'll probably make a separate video showing how I set up my own reading journal. As you can see, I am trying to figure out how I want best to lay out the thumbnails that I've printed. I have recently been on a true crime documentary binge, listening to serial killers and unsolved murders on Spotify, and watching Catching Killers, Raincoat Killer, as well as the Cecile Hotel vanishing case. Sprinkled around that are some lighthearted shows. I loved Kotaro Lives Alone. It gets 5 stars from me and highly recommended to any of my friends. The script writing was masterfully done, the dialogues hinting at dark pasts of each character without losing the light freshness of the overall film. I also rewatched a few seasons of The Nanny. This is an oldie but goodie that I constantly return to whenever I feel down and just need a little laughter in my life. Lastly, I also watched this K-drama entitled She Was Pretty. I really liked the casting of this show, but found the premise a bit too juvenile for my taste. Oh, and I almost forgot. I also watched Knives Out with a couple of friends. It was an all-star cast and I loved the colors of the film. Call me biased, but I don't think I would have enjoyed this film if I just watched it alone. Watching it with friends added to the experience and made me feel like I was playing Cluedo with them. Because there was no space left at the top, I decided to put the header at the lower left of the page, entitling it Movies and Podcasts. Then to finish it off, I drew in a small TV icon and drew an outline around the header to make it look like it was one of the thumbnails. While the spread turned out very compact, I kinda liked how it looked. So that just about wraps up April. Now it is time for us to set up our May bullet journal. The image that I chose came from the film Lord of the Rings. Apart from this film being a huge part of my childhood, I needed to have something warm and cozy to look back on when my days are feeling rough. And when I think of those words, I immediately think of The Shire. There is nothing like cozying up in your hobbit hole with your hot cup of tea. As I'm pasting this in, I just wanted to show you guys the sticker bundle for this month. I call this theme When Bilbo Works in an 1800s Office. It's sort of a mixture of cottage core slash vintage-y slash 90s type of vibe. I was pretty excited to use the iconology of this film to make some washi tapes, and I loved how it turned out. You can use this to design your own bullet journal or maybe as a work from home type of vibe. If you're interested in that, these are available as digital downloads in my Etsy shop. In any case, links will be down below. As always, here I am just stamping in the calendar for the month at the top right corner of the page. Then I am using my Unipin fine liner to write down the initials of the days. For the rest of the spread, I decided to do some collaging, which is something different. My friend gave me a basket full of washi tapes, which I've been dying to use. Because these were sent to her as freebies, I don't really know if this is available in the market, but if ever, I will link all of the supplies down below. First off, I use this gold foiled moon phasing washi tape to box in my spread. Then I saw these cute stamped like washi tapes with a hamster on it, which I thought went well with the cottage core type of theme. To add a little bit more texture and make the stamps look less out of place, I also layered it with a few of these neutral washi tapes. Then for the finishing touches, I used my own deco sheets to decorate the bottom and top of the cover page. On the left hand corner, I wrote in a quote from the movie which says, "And they lived happily ever after." I just found this quote very reassuring that even if at the moment I feel like everything is going wrong, there is always a hope that as long as you keep going, everything will turn out okay. At the bottom of this quote, I also wrote down my words of the year, which are to walk in faith, to have patience, perseverance, and to plant seeds every day. Once that's done, we are ready to do our monthly overview. Starting off with a mini collage using the washi tapes and my own sticker collections to make the May header. Then doing a vertical calendar below that, leaving one box space at the left to put in my moods for each day. I simplified my habit trackers. For my reading tracker, I decided to use this bookmark that I made to test out if the design works. I'm currently reading this book by Dale Carnegie on how to win friends. The title sounds deceivingly sleazy, but the contents are golden. I might do another vertical calendar at the right page of the spread to journal about what I've done to apply whatever I've learned in the book. But since I'm still on the fence about that, I've left it blank, and flipping over, we are just setting up my goals tracker. The layout for this one has still remained the same. I still find that the vertical calendar is king when it comes to bullet journal practice. On the right side, I've put in some keys to represent the projects that I want to focus on for the month. I really liked the April mid-month check-in that we did a while ago, so I've left the right-hand page of that spread blank to make room for a monthly check-in for May. Since I don't have anything lined up yet for the first week of May, I've decided to keep the weeklies blank and fill it out later. For my dailies, I plan to use this Hobonichi inspired layout using the green washis that I designed. I also printed out these free basic daily sticker set that you can get in my Gumroad page, which I'll link down below. Setting up my dailies, I am simply stamping in 1 and 8, stamping in some paperclip decoration to leave some room for the top 3 to 5 priorities I have for the week. This section is a new addition that I'm trying out. I'm hoping that this will bridge the gap between the bigger goals that I have and the daily actions that I make to move forward with them. I wrote down the hours of the day vertically and the initials of each day horizontally. Then at the bottom, I am simply writing down the keys of each activity I want to track throughout my days. On top of my washis, I put in the stickers for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I also added in this thin washi 4 boxes down to serve as a divider for my dailies. This is a trick that I learned from Tracy Taylor here on YouTube. I like to write down good things that have happened in the day at the topmost of my dailies. But sometimes I am in such a rush to fill out my bullet journal that I forget to reserve that spot for that specific thing. Which is not a big deal, but it does frustrate my structured brain, so I decided to put in these dividers to signal that the uppermost part is for things I'm grateful for or highlights of the day. And that is it for our May bullet journal setup. Here is the final flip through of all the spreads we've made. They turned out much more complicated and I guess creative than my usual spreads, but I hope that you guys still enjoyed this video. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!